Well, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Sometimes silence is golden, but on The View, the conversation never stops, even when there's not much to say. The hosts seem more out of touch with everyday Americans than ever, caught in a cycle of predictable chatter. And if anything, they're long overdue for a wake-up call. For years, Whoopi Goldberg has ruled the table like royalty, dismissing guests, shutting down differing viewpoints, and presenting her opinions as if they were the final word. But then, in a twist no one saw coming, Karoline Leavitt changed the game. It started like any other episode, smug chuckles, dramatic eye rolls, and a panel in perfect sync with the usual talking points. But this time, something unexpected was about to unfold.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Whoopi Goldberg, as self-assured as ever, leaned back, poised to steer the conversation her way. Then, the topic of wokeness landed on the table, a subject The View defends like a core belief, as if their entire brand depends on it. In many ways, it does. With a knowing smirk, Whoopi saw her opening. She turned to Karoline Leavitt, confidence radiating, and dropped a bold claim. Without wokeness, you wouldn't even have this job. And just like that, boom, the energy in the room shifted. Tension filled the air. Even the audience seemed to feel the weight of the moment. Joy Behar, usually quick to fire off jabs at conservatives, suddenly looked uncomfortable.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good.
And what does Whoopi say next? Exactly what you'd expect. Repetitive, worn out, and, frankly, exhausting. After all these years in the host's chair, you'd think she'd shake things up, bring a fresh take, or at least surprise us. But no, same script, different day. So, here we go. What's her next move? Let's hear it.
In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
The tension in the studio was almost suffocating. Everyone braced for what came next, though no one, least of all Whoopi, was ready for the response about to unfold. This wasn't just another heated exchange or a throwaway debate. No, Whoopi had just taken a direct shot at Karoline's career, intelligence, and work ethic, reducing everything she had accomplished to nothing more than a byproduct of the very ideology she opposed. It was dismissive. It was condescending. It was designed to shut Karoline down completely. And yet, the audience clapped. Some even chuckled. But beneath the applause, there was something else, an uncomfortable, lingering tension, as if even they sensed Whoopi had crossed a line but weren't sure they could admit it. Karoline, however, didn't flinch. She didn't stammer, backpedal, or scramble for a clever comeback. Instead, she did something far more powerful. She smiled, a slow, knowing smile that sent a clear message. You just made a huge mistake. It wasn't arrogance. It wasn't bravado. It was the confidence of someone armed with undeniable facts, someone who knew they were about to turn the entire conversation upside down. And with a composure so steady it was almost unnerving, that's exactly what she did. By the way, if you're loving this moment, don't forget to like and subscribe, because what happens next? Oh, it's even better. Karoline didn't just respond, she dismantled. With cold, hard facts, she laid it all out. Government reports revealing taxpayer dollars funneled into bizarrely woke initiatives. Gender studies programs in Guatemala. Sesame Street spin-offs pushing American social activism worldwide. A laundry list of jaw-dropping expenditures that left more questions than answers. With razor-sharp precision, Karoline connected the dots, exposing how wokeness had transformed from a cultural movement into a political weapon, one used to silence, control, and punish anyone who dared to challenge it. And Whoopi?
Disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
You have to hand it to Karoline. She's sharp, confident, and incredibly well-spoken. It's almost ironic that the hosts of The View, who claim to champion women's voices, chose to mock her instead of lifting her up. But then again, moments like this reveal where their priorities truly lie. So what happens next? Well, if history is any guide, Karoline isn't finished yet. She's about to deliver even more hard-hitting truths, truths so undeniable that not even they will be able to dismiss them.
You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
For years, she had controlled the conversation, shutting down dissent, steamrolling uncomfortable truths, and effortlessly silencing those who dared to push back. But now, Whoopi Goldberg was in unfamiliar territory, on the defensive. She shifted in her seat, her usual smirk gone. Her fingers fidgeted, searching for something, anything, to hold on to. Normally, a sharp comeback, a dismissive wave, or a well-timed laugh would be enough to shut down the opposition. But this time, the tables had turned, and Karoline wasn't letting her off the hook. For a split second, it was undeniable. Whoopi had backed herself into a corner. She opened her mouth, then shut it, tried again, but the words just wouldn't come. The audience, usually quick to rally behind her, sat frozen. Even The View's most loyal fans seemed unsure. Should they clap? Laugh? Wait for Whoopi to recover? The tension in the room was palpable. Even the camera crew hesitated. Should they zoom in and capture the exact moment she realized her misstep? Or cut to commercial and pray the audience didn't notice? And then, Karoline struck the final blow. If wokeness is about diversity and inclusion, why are conservative women always the ones under attack? Why do those who preach tolerance turn hostile when faced with someone who disagrees? Silence, deafening, undeniable silence. For the first time, Whoopi had no sarcastic quip, no cutting remark, no quick escape route. The moment stretched unbearably. Desperate to break the tension, Joy Behar forced out a joke, but it landed flat. The damage was already done. Whoopi Goldberg, the woman who had commanded The View for years, had just done something no one thought possible. She had completely unraveled Live on Air.